Al Murray is the stand-up comedian we know best as the pub landlord.
Good lad. Names are important. What something's called is the clue to what it's like, right? And if the name doesn't match the thing it's given to, chaos will abound.
He's used to playing life for laughs, but farm safety's no joke, and this story isn't part of his act. Al, how come you know this farm?
Well, we used to come here for summer holidays. My cousins owned the farm, and we would come here for 4 or 5 summers when I was a kid.
Let's go have a look round. What are your memories of that particular day?
My main memory is I went to the farmhouse to go to the loo, and as I cycled back along the lane from the farmhouse, I heard someone crying for help, and looked over, and there was this baler, and I could see some welly boots sticking out from what looked like inside the baler, in the gap between the baler and the tractor.
And on the end of the welly boots
was Chris here, who was the farm manager's son. He was 18, he was one of the big boys, because I was 11. And there he was, caught in this thing.
Chris Brown had been operating the baler on his own when it jammed with hay. He left the engine running and jumped out to take a look.
I ran round the side of the machine. I was wearing a pair of wellies, and I slipped on the straw, and I got picked up by the pickup reel, which then pulled me into the machine. I ended up with my arm right up inside there, with my, if you like, my body out here, with the machine still running. And I think panic set in.
So I remember grabbing him by his boots and trying to pull him out of the machine, and I didn't realise quite how firmly lodged he was, or how much of it had him in its grip, you know. And then he said to me that I should possibly turn the tractor off.
Which he did, and then ran to get his dad, who called the emergency services. Chris spent the next 18 months in and out of hospital, having skin, muscle and tendon grafts.
And that's the indentation of one roller, and that's the indentation of the other roller in there.
It's that clear?
Yeah.
It took quite a bite out of you, didn't it, Chris?
Yeah. So if you do that, that'll give you an idea of how much was lost.
Chris is now using his experience to educate other farmers and try and prevent what happened to him ever happening again.
If there's nothing else that I can teach people, it's just to stop and think for 1 second.
If you're tired, if you're under pressure, if you're in a rush, you could end up doing things that in a split second change everything. That's obviously what happened that day.
Good job you were here. Good timing.
Yeah. Well, that's the secret of all great comedy. Yeah.
Who knows? Was that the beginning of the career?
There are as many different types of farm accidents as there are farmers, but the cause is often the same, trying to do things in a rush. Mark Mather was at the end of a long day at work when his life changed forever.
I remember ploughing and watching these crows eat my barley and getting frustrated, and, you know, that's my crop, you know, that's my living, that's my livelihood getting eaten. So I decided to go home and get the shotgun and see if I could shoot some of the crows to try and stop them eating the barley.
Mark was travelling on his quad bike with his gun on his lap when he hit a bump and lurched forward. As the quad overturned, the butt of the gun hit the ground and fired both barrels directly into his right leg.
When I came off the bike, I was lying on the track here, losing a lot of blood. You know, 2 cartridges had taken out quite a lump on my right leg. I'd be lying there 5-10 minutes. It felt like a lifetime, but just lying there, couldn't do anything about it. You know, I had no phone battery, no way of contacting help.
Luckily, Mark's dad found him by chance and called the ambulance. Doctors managed to save his life, but not his leg.
After my accident, once they explained all what had happened, I didn't think I would be able to farm again. You almost feel life's over. You know, that's it.
9 years on, and Mark is back at work on the farm, and his attitude to safety has changed.
We're under huge pressure in the agricultural industry, financial pressure, time pressure, weather pressure. And I think every job we do need to just stop and think about what we're doing. Looking back, would I move again with a loaded shotgun? I wouldn't.
What happened to Mark and to Chris was obviously tragic for them, but it also had an impact on their family and their businesses. So what can be done to prevent farm accidents? Well, that's what I'll be finding out later.